हेलो डियर स्टूडेंट्स, हाउ आर यू? आई एम श्योर आप सभी ठीक से होंगे बेटा. ओके, सो ऑलरेडी यू नो दैट वी आर डन विद द कूलम्स लॉ. हमने कूलम्स लॉ पढ़ा है बेटा, ठीक है ना बेटा. ओके, नाउ नेक्स्ट जो हम डिस्कस करने जा रहे हैं बेटा, दैट्स इंपॉर्टेंट एंड दैट इज डायलेक्ट्रिक कांस्टेंट एंड रिलेटिव परमिटिविटी. ओके, सो दैट इज द टॉपिक, डायलेक्ट्रिक कांस्टेंट एंड रिलेटिव परमिटिविटी. ऑल राइट, तो यहाँ ध्यान दीजिए बेटा. ओके, सो लास्ट टाइम वी हैड डिस्कस्ड अ बिट ऑफ दिस डायलेक्ट्रिक कांस्टेंट, बट हियर वी विल बी डिस्कसिंग इट इन डिटेल. ठीक है ना बेटा. So first of all, I will write down an equation here. Let me write down an equation here, and the equation is like this, a beautiful equation, that the dielectric constant is equal to what? It's equal to relative permittivity. We have proved this, and then it's equal to F naught divided by Fm. ठीक है ना बेटा? It's equal to F naught divided by Fm. Okay? And what is this F naught? What is this Fm? F naught is the force between the 2 point charges when they are separated by vacuum, and Fm is the force between the same point charges when they are separated by the material medium. All right, ठीक है ना बेटा? Okay, so this dielectric constant for you. Okay, I will write down some important points here. यहाँ ध्यान दीजिए बेटा. Point number one is this. Point number one is this, and that is, for example, मैंने आपको already आपको बोला है बेटा that all the media they are classified in two categories. All the media in general they are classified in two categories. Number one is the vacuum or the free space, and number second is the rest. All the mediums apart from the vacuum. ठीक है ना बेटा? They are called media in general. Okay. Now, for example, there are 2 point charges. So the force between the 2 point charges will be maximum. It will be maximum. Force between 2 point charges maximum when they are separated by vacuum. And when they are separated by any other material medium, the force will be less than that, isn't it? So that's what I will write down here. I will write like this, that this force F naught. What is this F naught? F naught is the force between the 2 point charges when they are separated by vacuum. It will be always greater than this force Fm, always greater than force Fm. ठीक है ना बेटा? Okay, so point number one. So this implies that what does this mean? This means that, यहाँ ध्यान दीजिए बेटा. Now this dielectric constant is called F naught divided by Fm. When this F naught is always greater than Fm, so that means this number will be always greater than 1. ठीक है ना बेटा? So that's what I will write down here. This dielectric constant is always greater than 1. Okay, that means simply K can be 5, it can be 10. For example, for the water it's equal to 81, but there does not exist any medium for which the dielectric constant is 1 by 2. There does not exist any medium for which the dielectric constant is something like 0.25. Its value cannot be 2 by 3. Okay, its value will be always greater than 1. Its value is equal to 1 for vacuum, and for other material mediums its value is greater than 1. Okay, point number 1. ठीक है ना बेटा? Point number second. You tell me बेटा, what will be the units and dimensions of this dielectric constant? इसका unit और dimension formula होगा क्या बेटा? Simply, this dielectric constant and relative permittivity is equal to F naught divided by Fm. Since it is the ratio of same physical quantities, this is force. इसका unit Newton है बेटा, इसका भी unit Newton है. So that means this will be a dimensionless and a unitless physical quantity. Clear or not? So that's the point number second. I will write here that this K and epsilon are what? They are unitless and dimensionless, or unitless and dimensionless. When they are unitless, so obviously dimensionless as well. Okay, so they are unitless and dimensionless. ठीक है ना बेटा? This is point number second. Point number third, another important point is this. Okay, for example, this question has been asked in the AMS 2015. The question was like this: there are 2 point charges, they are separated by vacuum, the force between them is capital F. All right. Okay, now if these two point charges, they are dipped inside a liquid, and the dielectric constant of that liquid is equal to 2, what will be the force between the 2 point charges? ठीक है ना बेटा? तो उसके लिए हम एक इक्वेशन लिखने जा रहे हैं बेटा. Simply from this very equation, what is this dielectric constant equal? Simply it is equal to F naught divided by Fm, isn't it? It's equal to F naught divided by Fm. तो क्या हम ये लिख सकते हैं बेटा? From this equation, obviously we can write like this. That this Fm is equal to what? It's equal to F naught divided by K. Okay, it is simply equal to F naught divided by K. ठीक है ना बेटा? But F naught is what? F naught is the force between the 2 point charges separated by vacuum, and K is the dielectric constant of the material medium. So Fm is equal to F naught divided by K. Okay, so let me rewrite it here. यहाँ आप ध्यान दीजिए बेटा. So I will write it here. So it is equal to what? It's equal to F naught divided by K. Very important equation, highly important equation. ठीक है ना बेटा? A direct question has been asked on the that is based on this very equation, and that is asked in AMS 2015. ठीक है ना बेटा? Later on we'll be doing that question as well when we'll be switching to the problems. Okay, this question has been asked in AMS 2015. ठीक है ना बेटा? This one. Okay, ठीक. So point number 1 is what? Point number 1 जो बेटा है ये, that this force between the 2 point charges will be maximum when they are separated by vacuum, and it will be less compared to the vacuum when it is separated by any other material medium, when the 2 point charge is separated by any other material medium. So what we have from this equation is that when this F naught जब numerator ज़्यादा होगा बेटा compared to denominator, so obviously this fraction, this value, this will be greater than 1. So K is always greater than 1. ठीक है ना बेटा? And next is that this K and epsilon are, they are obviously unitless and dimensionless. Next is this, from this equation what follows is this, Fm is equal to F naught divided by K. ठीक है ना बेटा? This equation is used to calculate the force between the 2 point charges when they are separated with the material medium. Okay, all right. Then there's one more important point. यहाँ ध्यान दीजिए बेटा. There's one more important point. There's one more important point, and that's like this. That's like this, highly important point. ठीक है ना बेटा? And that's like this. For example, there's a medium. Let's suppose that there's a material medium whose dielectric constant is equal to phi u. There's a material medium, for example, rubber is there. ठीक है ना बेटा? ठीक, okay, there is rubber, and the dielectric constant for the rubber is equal to phi u. It is equal to phi u. Now the question is, what physically it means? अगर रबर का डायलेक्ट्रिक कांस्टेंट है बेटा phi u, what does it mean? What does it mean? ठीक है ना बेटा? तो यहाँ ध्यान दीजिए बेटा, इसका मतलब क्या है? इसका मतलब यह है बेटा, फॉर एग्जाम्पल वी हैव द इक्वेशन दैट इज Fm, isn't it, is equal to what? It's equal to F naught divided by K. All right. So here it's equal to F naught divided by phi u. It's equal to F naught divided by phi u. So K equal dielectric constant is equal to phi u means that the force will decrease phi u times. It will decrease phi u times when compared to the force between the charges separated by the vacuum. यहाँ ध्यान दीजिए बेटा, इसका मतलब क्या है बेटा? Suppose that here we have, this is one point charge, ठीक है ना बेटा, Q1, and this another point charge which is equal to Q2. In between them there is vacuum. Suppose the force of repulsion is there which is equal to F. ठीक है ना बेटा? Let's suppose this force is equal to 100 Newton. कितना है बेटा? Force is equal to 100 Newton. 100 Newton. Now next what we are doing is this: the same point charges separated by a slab of rubber. Okay, so here we have, this is Q1, this is Q2. ठीक है ना बेटा? This slab it is made of rubber. What is it made of? It is made of rubber. ठीक है ना बेटा? ठीक है ना बेटा? Now what about the force between them? The force between them will decrease. The force between them will decrease, and it will decrease by K times. It will decrease by K times. ठीक है ना बेटा? So simply this K is a measure of how much force weakness. ठीक है ना बेटा? So the force decreases. So the force here will be equal to F dash. नया force होगा बेटा. It will be equal to F divided by phi u. ठीक है ना बेटा? तो F किसके बराबर है बेटा? F है बराबर 100 divided by phi u. 100 by phi is equal to 20 Newton. So that means the force will remain only 20 Newton between these 2 point charges. ठीक है ना बेटा? So for example, there is a medium. अगर इसका dielectric constant बेटा 10, so what does it mean? It means that the force will become F naught divided by 10. If there is a medium like water, its dielectric constant is 81. The force when the 2 point charges separated by the water will become F divided by 81, F naught divided by 81, so on and so forth. ठीक है ना बेटा? So I'm sure आपको अच्छी तरह से ये समझ में आया होगा. If dielectric constant is 10, what does it mean? Force reduces 10 times, force weakness 10 times. ठीक है ना बेटा? Dielectric constant is, for example, 100, force weakness 100 times, force will be equal to F by 100, and so on and so forth. ठीक है ना बेटा? So I'm sure आपको अच्छी तरह से ये समझ में आया होगा. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is that I'll summarize all these equations. यहाँ ध्यान रखो बेटा, जो हमें अभी तक याद रखनी है बेटा. Okay, so let me summarize those equations here. Okay, so let me write down those equations here. I'll summarize all those equations here. यहाँ मैं वो summarize करूँगा बेटा. So the equation number first is simply Coulomb's law. And what is that? That's equal to K multiplied by Q1 into Q2 divided by R square. ठीक है ना बेटा? ठीक है ना बेटा? Q1 Q2 divided by R square. Why this K is in turn equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. 4 pi epsilon naught multiplied by Q1 Q2 divided by R square. ठीक है ना बेटा? There are you see that there are multiple number of equations, like 4 equations for the Coulomb's law. ठीक है ना बेटा? But out of the 4 equations, only this equation is important. Why is it important? Because during the problem solving, we will be taking SI system as the system of units, number 1. Number 2 is that the 2 point charges will be separated by the vacuum always. ठीक है ना बेटा? Point number 1. Point number 2 ये है बेटा. Point number 2 जो आपको याद रखना है बेटा. That's the value of epsilon naught. You know that we have already calculated the units and dimensions of epsilon naught, isn't it? And that question has been asked in the JEE 2013 as well. Okay, अब यहाँ ध्यान रखो बेटा, जो epsilon naught है ना, इसका वैल्यू होता है बेटा 8.85 into 10 raised to the power minus 12, a vanishingly small value. 8.85 10 power minus 12 coulombs. It is Coulomb square per Newton per meter square. Coulomb square per Newton per meter square is the unit. ठीक है ना बेटा? Point number 1. Number 2. Number 3 is this. यहाँ ध्यान दीजिए बेटा, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, इसका वैल्यू भी आपको पता होना चाहिए बेटा. For the sake of problem solving, you will have to memorize these values. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Simply what you do is this: you substitute the value of this epsilon naught here. Okay. After a bit of calculation, finally the answer will be exactly like this. You will have to believe me that the answer is 9 and 10 power 9. 9 and 10 power 9. तो यहाँ इसका यूनिट आएगा बेटा Newton meter square per Coulomb square. So the value is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught equal to 9 and 10 power 9. When you compare this constant with the gravitational constant 6.67 10 power minus 11, so बहुत बड़ा unit है बेटा. This one a very big value. That's the reason that electrostatic force is very large force compared to the gravitational force. Very strong force compared to the gravitational force. Gravitational force is considered as one of the weakest force in the nature. ठीक है ना बेटा? So we are done with 1, 2, 3. Okay. Then the point number 4. Point number 4 is dielectric constant. Point number 4 is dielectric constant. किसके बराबर होता है बेटा? It's equal to F naught divided by Fm. ठीक है ना बेटा? Greater than 1. ठीक है बेटा? Then there are some textbooks which write the value of the dielectric constant for the water as 81, for the rubber as 5, for the glycerine as something like 50 and so on and so forth. But you do not memorize those values. ठीक है ना बेटा? जब आपको कोई क्वेश्चन पूछा जाएगा for example in the NEET or for example in the JEE mains, तो वहां से आपको दिया गया होगा बेटा the value of the k is equal to 10 or the value of the k is equal to 20 depending upon the situation. All right. ठीक है ना बेटा? So this is what you have to memorize for the problem solving. Okay. So this is highly important. You can take the screenshot here and you'll memorize down these equations if you want to do good in the NEET or in the JEE. All right. Okay. So let's now switch to another topic. So we are done with the Coulomb's law. हमने यहाँ Coulomb's law लिखा बेटा. Okay, in length and breadth we have discussed the Coulomb's law. Then next we have discussed the dielectric constant. We have discussed the relative permittivity as well. Okay, all right. Then we have discussed these values, a couple of values here which are highly important as far as problem solving is concerned. ठीक है ना बेटा? Next what we'll do is this. We'll do the problems on the Coulomb's law. ठीक है ना बेटा? If you're not done with the problems, if for example you are not going to solve the problems, then it's all time wastage. ठीक है ना बेटा? So next what I will be focusing on is that problem solving. ठीक है ना बेटा? So examples on Coulomb's law. ठीक? So there are some examples, some standard examples I'll be showing here. Okay, number one. Number second is that all the previous year questions will be discussed as well. And in addition to that, for example, we'll be discussing some 10-15 problems on the Coulomb's law. Number one. Number second, in addition to that, आपके पास बेटा DPP sheet होगा. तो उस DPP sheet में almost if I am correct, there are some 13-14 problems on this Coulomb's law. So at your home, what you'll be doing is that you'll be doing those examples. ठीक है ना बेटा? ओके ठीक. मोर और वन मोर इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट, जब मैं यहाँ कोई भी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करेगा ना बेटा, फॉर एग्जांपल आई विल स्टार्ट विद द प्रॉब्लम. व्हाट यू विल बी डूइंग इज दैट यू विल बी pausing the screen at that point and then trying it yourself. If you are able to do the problem yourself, that's really great. ठीक है ना बेटा? अगर आपको आता नहीं है, फॉर एग्जांपल आफ्टर मेनी अटेम्प्ट्स, then you can follow me. Okay, so concentrate here. Okay, so this was a bit of message for you. तो यहाँ आप ध्यान दीजिए बेटा. So we'll be starting with the example number 1. ठीक है ना बेटा? And let's start with an example, and that has been asked in the NEET 2019. Okay, so an example that has been asked in the NEET 2019. Let's start with this example. NEET 2019 example. ठीक है ना बेटा? Okay, I will not be solving those equations like, for example, put the value and get the answer. That Q1 and Q2 will be given to you or is given to you. Then what you have to do is that you have to put the value and get the answer. Will not be doing those types of examples. Some standard examples. Okay, I am not here for the time wastage. Okay, so ध्यान दीजिए बेटा. So example is simply like this. Question number 1 is like this. There are 2 point charges. ठीक है बेटा? So this out charge 1. It is A. It is given to you. Then this another charged particle. ठीक है ना बेटा? Which is charge B. All right. They are separated by some distance. For example, that is equal to R. ठीक है ना बेटा? Given to you. इसका charge है बेटा Q. That is also given. Charge Q इसका है बेटा. That is also given. They repel each other by a force of F. ठीक है ना बेटा? Okay, this is the question. Okay, so first of all, how many charged particles are there? 2 charged particles, Q and Q. The separation between them is equal to, और इसका चार्ज क्या है बेटा? Q. इसका चार्ज क्या है बेटा? Q. ठीक है ना बेटा? Now the question is like this. If 25%, so here I will write it down. Question ये है बेटा, 25% of Q, that is charge, is transferred from A to B. ठीक है ना बेटा? Is transferred from A to B. All right, is transferred from A to B. Okay, then what you are supposed to calculate is that you will have to calculate new force. You will have to calculate F dash is equal to what? F dash implies the new force between the A and B. ठीक है ना बेटा? Okay, different options are given to you. Let me write down those options as well. Option number A is F. F dash is equal to F. ठीक है ना बेटा? Option number A. Okay, then option number B. Option number B जो आपके पास है बेटा वो ये है. Option number B is equal 3f/4. ठीक है ना बेटा? Option number C आपके पास है बेटा 15f/16. Option number D आपके पास है बेटा f/2. ठीक है बेटा? Okay, so these are the 4 different options that are given to you. Okay, we'll be discussing this problem in detail. Point number one. Point number second, at the end of the problem, I'll be showing a shortcut technique via which you can solve the problem within less than a minute. Because at the end of the day, you had to solve the problem, but you had to solve the problem in a stipulated time. All right, number one. Number second is that this problem can be asked in the gravitation as well. ठीक है ना बेटा? Exactly problem क्या होगी बेटा? Mass M, A and B, they attract each other by a force of F because gravitational force always attractive in nature. Now the 25% of the mass is transferred from A to B, whatever the force. Answer will be exactly same. जो यहाँ पर answer निकलेगा बेटा, exactly the same answer will be there as well. Okay? Now let's focus on this problem. तो यहाँ ध्यान रखो बेटा. What is given to you is that the 25% of charge is transferred from A to B. Okay? Then 25% is transferred from A to B. What does it mean? It means that आपको पता होगा बेटा 1 is equal to 100%, 1 by 2 is 50%, so 1 by 4 is 25%. So that means Q by 4 charge is transferred from white wire, it is transferred from A to B. When Q by 4 is transferred from A to B, ठीक है ना बेटा? तो what is the error that you can do? What is the error that you can do? What is the mistake that you can do? Is this, आप ये सोचोगे बेटा Q by 4 is subtracted from A but added to B. So जो summation of charge है उस पर कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. Initially the sum of the charge was Q plus Q is 2Q. Finally the sum of the charge is equal to again 2Q. So the force will remain same. Option number A is F. You will tick this, but ये आंसर गलत है बेटा. ठीक है ना बेटा? The reason is that this electrostatic force of attraction or repulsion is not directly proportional to sum of the charges. It is proportional to the product of the charges. ठीक है ना बेटा? तो आंसर ये नहीं है बेटा. ठीक है ना बेटा? So let's try to work it out. यहाँ ध्यान दीजिए बेटा. How we'll work it out? Okay? So concentrate here. So this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. So there is Q by 4, which is so what will be the charge of the A now? What's Q A now? Its initial charge was Q. Q by 4 is subtracted from it. By simple mathematics, it's equal to 3Q by 4. ठीक है ना बेटा? Cross multiplication है बेटा. सीधा साधा cross multiplication. Okay. Then the charge of the B. What about that? That will be equal to Q, and Q by 4 is added to that, so it will be equal to 5Q by 4. All right. ठीक है ना बेटा? ठीक है ना बेटा? अब देख लो बेटा नया फोर्स क्या है बेटा? नया फोर्स है बेटा F डैश, एंड व्हाट दैट विल बी इक्वल टू K मल्टीप्लाइड बाय प्रोडक्ट ऑफ चार्जेस. तो इनको प्रोडक्ट कर लो बेटा. 3 5 are 15. ठीक है ना बेटा? 4 4 are 16. नीचे आएगा बेटा 16. Q into Q is Q स्क्वायर, और फिर नीचे आएगा बेटा R स्क्वायर. वो मैं यहाँ भी लिख सकता हूँ बेटा. ठीक है ना बेटा? K मल्टीप्लाइड बाय प्रोडक्ट ऑफ चार्जेस डिवाइड बाय डिस्टेंस स्क्वायर. तो प्रोडक्ट ऑफ चार्जेस क्या है बेटा? 3 5 15, 4 4 16, 15 by 16 Q स्क्वायर. ठीक है ना बेटा? नाउ इट्स लाइक दिस. सिंपली इट्स लाइक दिस. 15 divided by 16 multiplied by KQ square divided by R square. And what is this KQ square by R square? What is this KQ square by R square? It's the old force. ठीक है ना बेटा? It's like this. इतनी आसान प्रॉब्लम बेटा. रीस सर भी यहाँ जवाब देता है बेटा. That's it's called F. So KQ square. So F किसके बराबर है बेटा? F is equal to what? That's equal to KQ square divided by R square. ठीक है ना बेटा? KQ square by R square. So this what I'm going to do. यहाँ ध्यान दीजिए बेटा. This is what I'm going to do. So here I am simply replacing by. So the F dash will be simply equal to what? It will be equal to 15 divided by 16 multiplied by F. ये है बेटा इसका आंसर. ये है बेटा इसका आंसर. ठीक है ना बेटा? ओके. तो so I'm sure आपको अच्छी तरह से समझ में आया होगा. ठीक है ना बेटा? सिंपली Q by 4 is subtracted from 1, Q by 4 is added to another. इसका चार्ज बनेगा 3Q by 4. इसका चार्ज बनेगा बेटा 5Q by 4, 5 3 15, 4 4 16. तो आएगा बेटा ये. ठीक है ना बेटा? ओके. नाउ मैनी स्टूडेंट्स विल बी थिंकिंग दैट सर अगर ये प्रॉब्लम कल को नीट में आई है बेटा, फॉर एग्जांपल इफ दिस क्वेश्चन हैज बीन आस्क्ड इन द नीट, देन व्हाट टू डू एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम? व्हाट टू डू एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम? बिकॉज सर यू हैव सॉल्व्ड दिस प्रॉब्लम ऑलमोस्ट, इट टुक यू 10 मिनट्स इजंट इट? बट हमारे पास 10 मिनट्स तो है नहीं बेटा, तो कैसे कर लेंगे बेटा जुगाड़? तो यहाँ ध्यान दीजिए बेटा. सो फॉर दैट व्हाट आई एम गोइंग टू डू इज दिस. You just concentrate on this. You just concentrate on this. What I'm going to do is this. यहाँ ध्यान दीजिए बेटा. So मैं यहाँ पर एक डब्बा बना लूँगा बेटा. बस इस डब्बे में हम सॉल्व कर लेंगे प्रॉब्लम. That's it. Problem will be done within this box. ठीक है ना बेटा? देखो बेटा. First of all, 25% of the charge is transferred from A to B. बोलो बेटा 25% होता कितना है बेटा? That is 1 by 4. That means 1 by 4 is subtracted from 1. 1 by 4 is added to another. सीधे करना क्या है बेटा? 1 minus 1 by 4. Multiplied by 1 plus 1 by 4. ठीक है ना बेटा? Now what is this 1 minus 1 by 4? It's 3 by 4. What is this 1 plus 1 by 4? It's 5 by 4. 3 by 4 multiplied by 5 by 4. 3 5s are 15. 4 4s are 16. 15 by 16. I don't think it took you more than a minute. I don't think it took a more than a minute. 15 by 16 इसका आंसर है बेटा. That's it. The problem is done. ठीक है ना बेटा? अब जो ये पूरा जो ये था ना जो ये पूरा ड्रामा था बेटा, ये इसलिए था so that you will understand how it comes out with 15 by 16, isn't it? ठीक है ना बेटा? We'll be doing another example here. यहाँ ध्यान दीजिए बेटा. We'll be doing another example here. We'll be doing of the same pattern. Let's do another example. Example number 2. यहां ध्यान रखो बेटा, ऑफ द सेम पैटर्न। देखो बेटा हम कैसे कर लेंगे बेटा विद इन लेस देन अ मिनट। यहां ध्यान दीजिए बेटा, फॉर एग्जांपल हियर वी हैव चार्ज पार्टिकल q, हियर वी हैव चार्ज पार्टिकल q, ठीक है ना बेटा। द सेपरेशन बिटवीन देम इज इक्वल टू r। नाउ व्हाट इज गिवन टू यू, दिस इज a, दिस इज b, ठीक है ना बेटा। Okay, now like this it is 50% of the charge is transferred. For example, in your NEET 2022 or 23, this question is asked, suppose तो 50% of charge is transferred from y to wire, from a to b, ठीक है ना बेटा। 50% होता क्या है बेटा, simply 1/2। क्या होता है बेटा, 1/2। करना क्या है बेटा, 1 minus 1/2 multiplied by 1 plus 1/2। The problem is done, the problem is dusted, ठीक है बेटा। 1 minus 1/2 is what, 1/2। 1 plus 1/2 is 3/2। आंसर निकलेगा बेटा 3/4, ठीक है बेटा। 3/4 is the answer, 3/4 f is the answer, that's it, the problem is done। f dash किसके बराबर है बेटा, f dash है बेटा 3f/4, the problem is done with no time। okay, so that's how we do it, ठीक है ना बेटा, that's how we do it। okay, so next अब यहां ध्यान दीजिए बेटा। so I am sure आपको एग्जांपल नंबर 1 भी समझ में आई होगी बेटा, एग्जांपल नंबर 2 भी आपको समझ में अच्छी तरह से आई होगी बेटा, ठीक है ना बेटा। योर हैंड्स मस्ट बी वेरी क्विक, ओनली देन यू कैन क्रैक द कॉम्पिटेटिव एग्जाम। ऑलराइट, तो यहां ध्यान दीजिए बेटा। सो लेट्स डू अनदर एग्जांपल, लेट्स डू अनदर एग्जांपल। हमारे पास बेटा है एग्जांपल नंबर 3। लेट्स डू अनदर एग्जांपल, एग्जांपल नंबर 3, ठीक है ना बेटा। अच्छी वाली एग्जांपल है बेटा, आस्क्ड इन IPMT 2010। यू कैन सी द DPP शीट एज वेल, तो वहां पर आप ये देखोगे बेटा, एंड नाइस क्वेश्चन इट इज asked in the AIPMT 2010। okay, so let's try to do this problem, let's try to do this problem। तो बेटा देखो एग्जांपल क्या है, these are two particles again, ठीक है ना बेटा। these are two particles, इसका मास है बेटा m दिया गया है, इसका मास है m। the separation between them is equal to r, all right, separation between them is equal to r, ठीक है ना बेटा। okay, now what's done is this, यहां ध्यान दीजिए बेटा, electrons are added to this and electrons are added to this, as a result of which this becomes negatively charged। both these particles become negatively charged, ठीक है ना बेटा। separations are masses m, masses m, ठीक है ना बेटा। okay, so electrons are added to this, electrons are added to this। now the question is like this, now the question is like this, calculate the number of excess electrons that are given to the each particle, to the particle A and to the particle B, so that the gravitational force balances the electrostatic force, ठीक है ना बेटा। तो कैलकुलेट क्या करना है बेटा, देखो मैं शॉर्ट में लिखूंगा बेटा, कैलकुलेट नंबर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स, कैलकुलेट नंबर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स, कैलकुलेट नंबर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स, so that gravitational force that is Fg is equal to electrostatic force that is equal to Fe, ठीक है ना बेटा, सिंपल, ठीक है ना बेटा। so that means how many forces are there on each particle, 2 forces on each particle, ठीक है ना बेटा। one is the gravitational force and obviously attractive in nature, so this will be the force in this direction, attractive in nature होगा बेटा। and then there is electrostatic force, इस दिशा में है बेटा repulsive, because like charge is repel, gravitational force always attractive in nature, ठीक है ना बेटा। ये दो forces को equate कर लो बेटा, simple है। so gravitational force will be equal to what, electrostatic force, or electrostatic force will be equal to gravitational force, ठीक है ना बेटा। ओके, सो इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक फोर्स किसके बराबर है बेटा, ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स। इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक फोर्स किसके बराबर है बेटा, ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स। इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक फोर्स विल बी गिवन बाय कूलम्स लॉ, ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स विल बी गिवन बाय न्यूटन्स लॉ ऑफ ग्रेविटेशन। 9th से आप ये पढ़ के आए हो बेटा। सो इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक फोर्स किसके बराबर है बेटा, इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक फोर्स इज सिंपली इक्वल टू 1/4 पाई एप्सिलॉन नॉट, ठीक है बेटा। इसका चार्ज मान लेते हैं बेटा q, और इसका चार्ज भी है q, q into q इज q स्क्वायर डिवाइड बाय डिस्टेंस का स्क्वायर क्या है बेटा, r स्क्वायर। ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स किसके बराबर होता है बेटा, g मल्टीप्लाइड बाय m1 m2 तो हो गया m स्क्वायर डिवाइड बाय डिस्टेंस का स्क्वायर क्या है बेटा, r स्क्वायर। r स्क्वायर इज गोइंग टू कैंसिल विद द r स्क्वायर, ठीक है ना बेटा। ओके, सो देन व्हाट वी आर लेफ्ट विद इज दिस, सो हियर वी हैव q स्क्वायर डिवाइडेड बाय 4 पाई एप्सिलॉन नॉट, ठीक है ना बेटा। q स्क्वायर डिवाइडेड बाय 4 पाई एप्सिलॉन नॉट किसके बराबर है बेटा, दैट सिंपली इक्वल टू g मल्टीप्लाइड बाय m स्क्वायर। निकालना क्या है बेटा, लेट्स कैलकुलेट q, q विल बी इक्वल टू 4 पाई एप्सिलॉन नॉट multiplied by gm square root of this, ठीक है ना बेटा, this is q, ठीक है बेटा। then here I will use the quantization of the charge, quantization, this q is equal to n multiplied by e, n multiplied by e, where e is the charge of the electron, ठीक है ना बेटा। तो यहां मैं सबस्टिट्यूट कर लूंगा बेटा, so n you have to calculate, so n will be equal to 1 divided by e and root of all this which is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught multiplied by gm square, that's it, the problem is done, ठीक है ना बेटा। तो ये है इसका आंसर। ओके, so I am sure आपको अच्छी तरह से ये एग्जांपल भी समझ में आई होगी। ओके, ठीक है ना बेटा। सो दिस इज द आंसर टू द प्रॉब्लम। ऑल राइट, सो वी आर डन विद द एग्जांपल नंबर 1, वी आर डन विद द एग्जांपल नंबर 2, वी आर डन विद द एग्जांपल नंबर 3 एज वेल, ठीक है ना बेटा। लेट्स डू वन मोर एग्जांपल, लेट्स डू वन मोर एग्जांपल। ओके, सो लेट्स डू वन मोर एग्जांपल एंड दैट्स एग्जांपल नंबर 4, ठीक है ना बेटा। एग्जांपल नंबर 4 कर लेते हैं बेटा, लेट्स डू एग्जांपल नंबर 4। ओके, All right, again standard problem, ठीक है ना बेटा, very good problem, and on this base a question has been asked in the JEE Man 2018, ठीक है ना बेटा. So the question is like this, यहाँ ध्यान दीजिए बेटा. So it's like this, for example here we have a charged particle, ठीक है ना बेटा. Okay, so this is particle, for example A, ठीक है ना बेटा, and this is another charged particle which is particle B, ठीक है ना बेटा. Now it's like this, इसका चार्ज है बेटा, for example suppose its charge is given, it's equal to 2q. What is its charge? 2q, ठीक है ना बेटा. Its charge is given, that is equal to 4q. Okay, ठीक है ना बेटा. ऐसा भी हो सकता है बेटा, charge of one particle is 2 coulomb, charge of another particle is 4 coulomb instead of this q, ठीक है बेटा. So this is A and B. Then what is given is this, these two repel each other by force of F. That is also given, these two repel each other by force of F, ठीक है ना बेटा. अगर मैं आपको ये बोलूंगा बेटा, can you calculate the value of F? Obviously you can calculate, there is no problem in that. So F will be equal, you will use the coulombs law, K multiplied by Q1 multiplied by Q2 divided by R square, ठीक है ना बेटा. तो यहाँ ध्यान दीजिए बेटा, K multiplied by product of charges 2 into 4 is 8, तो आएगा बेटा 8Q square divided by R square, where R is the separation between them, ठीक है ना बेटा. Or we can write it like this, 8K Q square divided by R square. Okay, all right, but this was not the problem. The question is like this, this A and B, they are two metallic spheres, they are touched and then they are separated. Calculate the new force between the A and B. That's the question, ठीक है ना बेटा. This A and B are what? They are touched and then separated. So here I will write it down, A and B are touched and separated. A and B are touched and separated. This example you cannot do in the gravitation. The reason is that there is nothing like polarization in the gravitation. A and B are touched and separated. ठीक है ना बेटा. So I am sure आपको अच्छी तरह से ये समझ में आया होगा बेटा. A and B are touched and separated. Calculate F dash. Calculate new force. आपको नया force निकालना है बेटा between the A and B. That means they are touched and then they are separated by the same distance, which is R. So you have to calculate the new force. तो concept है क्या बेटा? Concept is simply like this. बेटा this problem will be later on repeat in the potential as well. ठीक है बेटा. यहाँ पर जो A and B है ना बेटा, their size is same. So when they are touched, when these two metallic spheres are touched, obviously common sense says that the charge will flow from more charge to less charge till the charge will become balanced, till there will occur charge balance. ठीक है ना बेटा. That's simple. So concept is simple. यहाँ ध्यान दीजिए बेटा. So this what I will do here. Simply what I will do is this. यहाँ ध्यान दीजिए बेटा. So these two are touched and separated. When they are touched and separated, so obviously charge transfer will occur, and it will occur from ज़्यादा charge to कम charge, like this. ठीक है ना बेटा. ज़्यादा charge to कम charge, but there will be charge conservation. Charge conservation implies that the total charge will remain constant. And what is the total charge? 2Q plus 4Q is what? 6Q. ठीक है ना बेटा. So that means once they are touched and separated, the charge of A will be equal to charge of B will be equal to total charge or the net charge divided by 2. ठीक है ना बेटा. It will be equally what? Divided into the two spheres. ठीक है बेटा. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 by 2 is 3. So that will be simply equal to 3Q. ठीक है बेटा. So one is they are touched and then separated. इसका charge बनेगा बेटा 3Q. इसका charge बनेगा बेटा. So here that's what I will write down here is this QA will be equal to QB. किसके बराबर आएगा बेटा? That will be equal to 3Q. ठीक है ना बेटा. That will be equal to 3. तो इसका charge बनेगा बेटा 3Q. इसका charge, that means the charge Q flows from the B to A. So that इसका charge बनेगा 3Q and the charge of this will also be equal to 3Q. ठीक है ना बेटा. But keep one thing in mind. For example, if these two spheres are of different size, then in that very case it is not necessary that the charge will flow from ज़्यादा charge to कम charge. Charge will flow from a higher potential to the lower potential, but then that's not a Coulomb's law problem. That's a potential problem. ठीक है ना बेटा. We'll be discussing that problem later on. If their sizes are same, then it's a then it's a Coulomb's law problem. If the sizes are different, then it's a potential problem. ठीक है ना बेटा. So QA is equal to QB. Q is equal to QB. तो हमें नया फोर्स निकालना है बेटा. So easily we can do it. F dash will be simply equal 3 3s are 9. तो आएगा बेटा 9KQ square divided by R square. 9KQ square divided by R square. ठीक है ना बेटा. All right. So this is the new force which is called 9KQ square divided by R square. Now we have to calculate the new force in terms of old force. What we have to do is that we have to calculate the new force in terms of old force. आप देख लीजिए बेटा. Simply concentrate on this 9. The 9 is here. यहाँ पर क्या बेटा 8 है यहाँ पर बेटा. So simply what I will do is this F dash divided by F will be equal to 9 by 8. That's it. The problem is done. Because once you divide the two equations, KQ square by R square is going to cancel with KQ square by R square. तो यहाँ क्या बचेगा बेटा? यहाँ बचेगा 9 और यहाँ क्या बचेगा बेटा? That's 8. So 9 by 8. So that means this F dash will be simply equal to 9 by 8 F. ठीक है ना बेटा? It will be equal to 9 by 8 F. Okay. ठीक है ना बेटा? ठीक है ना बेटा, तो आपको समझ में आया होगा बेटा. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल द फोर्स इज 2 4s are 8, तो यहाँ आएगा बेटा 8. Q चार्ज विल फ्लो फ्रॉम B to A, इसका चार्ज बनेगा बेटा 3Q, इसका चार्ज बनेगा 3Q, so that 3 to 3 is 9. Find the rest of the 2, 9 by 8, so F dash will be equal to 9 by 8 F. ठीक है ना बेटा. And this question is if you see the H Verma, it's there as well. Okay, it is in H Verma as well. ठीक है ना बेटा. So it is in H Verma as well. ठीक है ना बेटा. So what we have done today is that थोड़ा सा हमने पढ़ा बेटा dielectric constant. Then we have done a few problems like example number 1, 2, 3, 4. ठीक है ना बेटा. Okay. So what you people will be doing is that you continuously watch our lectures. ठीक है ना बेटा. So what this will be doing to you is that you'll be revising from here. ठीक है ना बेटा. So highly important it is, all these lectures are highly important, whether it's physics, whether it's chemistry, or whether it's bio. So you please do watch all these lectures. ठीक है ना बेटा. So be sincere, be highly sincere with your studies. ठीक है ना बेटा. So best of luck from here. Okay. So you take care of yourselves.